All right. So now with this 15-minute chatbot challenge, we are going to make your very first chatbot. So if you guys are logged in, all you got to do is click on new chatbot. It's very simple. The first thing that you do with an AI chatbot, with this AI chatbot and all AI chatbots, is you have to train your bot. Okay. So even when if we move up to CloseBot or you use StappyChat or any of those other more robust conversational AI tools, you're going to have to learn how to train your bot. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to train our bot. And we're going to do something very simple for this bot. Okay. So what we can do is, let's say you have your agency right now. You can copy your agency URL into this website, and it's going to scrape your website. So this is how you train it on you without really much effort. If you'd like, you could add some text in here. This is not the text where you tell the bot how to act. This is just extra text to train the bot on. I'm not going to add it in here, but I could add things like...
It's like a knowledge base, Josh?
Sure, you could add any text you want in here. There's a limit. So your free account comes with this limit on how many characters you could trade it on. I'm not. This is just raw text data. You could copy a web page into here if you don't want to scrape it. You can copy a text file. You can put any text you want in here. Files, you can even upload files, PDF files. If you have a whole PDF for your business or your client or whatever, you can just upload it in here and it automatically trains itself. Q&A, this is important. So most bots allow you to give it questions and answers that a standard user may ask of it. So I could say, not like, what is Rosenfeld marketing? I'm training it on that, but it'll figure out what Rosenfeld marketing is because I gave it my website. So questions like, how much does it cost? And I could answer, well, I don't like to discuss price. Discuss price. All right. Okay. And you can add as many frequently asked questions as you want. So if your website has a FAQs on it, FAQs, you can put them in here too. But again, it's going to scrape it here. And it also looks for your links on your website. Finally, if this bot in here hooks up to Notion, I don't know if anyone's using Notion for project management, but if you are, I guess I could hook up to it. I haven't done that. Okay. So again, we made a very simple data source. It's going to scrape my website. You can upload text. I'm not giving it any files, and I'm going to do create chatbot. Answer length too short in Q&A question. Okay, cool. So it tells you if there's going to be errors. How much does it cost? Well, I see. I had an extra one here. So it's nice. It tells you if there's errors. Okay, so you create your chatbot. It just takes a minute. And boom, you can start chatting with your bot. But before you do, just be aware that the free version only allows like 20 or 30 interactions with your bot. So when it stops working, it's because it's the free version, okay? So before you start using it, let me show you a few things here, okay? I'm going to start from the right and go to the left. So you can delete your bot if you're only playing with a single bot or 3 bots and you want to erase them and use the limited amount you have. You delete each one here. You could share your bot. Okay, and sharing your bot makes it public. Okay, so this is what you would want to do if you want to put the chat bubble, like you can see down here, if you want to put this on to any website. That's another awesome thing about Chatbase. It can go on any website. They just got to add this little bit of code in here. You just copy this little bit of code, paste it inline into your HTML in your website builder, or give it to your web developer, and boom, you'll automatically have the Chatbase chatbot bubble show up at the bottom with no programming skills needed, nothing. It's very simple. Okay. If I want to embed it on a site, it gives me a couple other options. There's an iframe version, and there is an embeddable, like there's a chat bubble, and then there's the iframe. So an iframe would be like this example behind here, where it kind of looks like this. It's in line with your site, and a chat bubble looks like this down here. Okay, so this allows you to decide how you want to embed it. Integrations, I'm not going to do any integrations, but as you can see, this free tool actually integrates with Zapier. So you need a subscription, but if you want to use this and get it into GoHighLevel or whatever CRM you want, you actually can still do that. And they're adding more to it. Again, this only adds the chat bubble. It doesn't do Messenger, doesn't do any of the other channels yet, but it will. And we're going to move out of this once we're done into something more advanced. Here's our sources. If you want to update any of the data you entered in it, you would do it up in sources. Here's your dashboard for your widget. We haven't had any conversations. Here's settings, okay? And here is where we're going to start using the ChatGPT for this chatbot. I said this with ChatGPT and we talked about prompting. I'm going to show you that. So going down settings, you don't need to mess with a lot of this stuff at all. But we're going to go to model. And the model for a chatbot is where you actually give it the proper prompting. Prompting is when you talk to the bot and then it follows your prompt and it tries to accomplish what you give it. And this is how you use ChatGPT, Gemini, Bard, all of them. So here, and I'm going to show you as we go through this course, I'll show you more and more advanced tips for doing good prompting. But for purposes of this simple bot, here's how I like to do basic prompting always, even if I'm asking questions in ChatGPT or OpenAI. I always like to tell it, act as if. This is really an important one. Act as if, okay? Now, I have a marketing agency, so I'm going to say act as if you are a great marketer. Let's say you have a site that does, your client owns, has a fishing company and they sell tackle and all sorts of stuff. You'd say act as if you are a great marketer and a great fisherman, right? So how you instruct your bot is how it's going to act. Okay, so I'm going to tell this bot, act as if you are a great marketer. Your goal is to get the user to click on a link. And you just talk plain English to it. Your goal is to get the user to click on a link after a few questions. Watch how amazing. This is where AI is amazing. This will start blowing you away, especially as you make more complicated bots. Another thing I like to do is when you write your prompt for a bot, if you can kind of break it up so the bot reads sequentially down and chunks the information a bit by using hashtags or dashes, the bot will just kind of figure it out as it goes. So I like to say product list. In real simple, I'm going to say hat is $15 and the link is, and this is very, 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 very simple. This is not how you would actually do this in the real world, but this will work. Link is going to be HTTPS, and I'll just say Google. And I'm going to copy this product list. Let's do again. I don't know. We'll do a shirt for 25. We'll link it to Google also, and we'll do a pants. And this is a hacky way to do this, okay? Entering it all in one long prompt. If you ever use ZappyChat, it's one long prompt, okay? If you use CloseBot, which we're going to use, it's little tiny prompts throughout, so it's much easier. Okay, so pants are $30, $30 or $40, whatever. Link. Let's copy this. Okay, and then you'll see this as we move forward with more advanced bots. I like to give bots instructions how to respond. So I could say, never tell it you're a bot. Never tell you're a bot. Don't repeat yourself. You'll notice bots repeat themselves. So I like to tell it, don't repeat itself. And these skills we're learning right now will go through this whole course as we use more advanced chatbots. Don't repeat yourself. And let's see what happens if I do that. And there is a limit here of, I think, not sure what the character limit here is, but there is a character limit. Great marketer. Name. I'm going to give it a name. I like to name my bots. Named Rosie for Rosenthal Marketing. Okay. So obviously these products don't line up with my agency, but for purposes of this chatbot, it'll work great. Okay. Any questions thus far, guys? Of how you do a simple prompt? You're telling a chat how to act, what the goal is, and you're giving it some basic instructions. The more basic the instructions to start, the better, and then you tweak as you go. I'm going to save this. Okay. And now we're going to test the bot. Okay. Oh, finally, I forgot about this. So at the bottom, you're going to see temperature. This is crucial. When a chatbot, an AI chatbot responds to you or responds to the user, based on the temperature that you set the ChatGPT engine between 0 and 1, determines how different each response is. Okay. So if I were to ask the bot a question and my temperature is 0, it's going to respond. It's going to give kind of the same answer to every customer, and it's not that creative. The higher up you go, the more creative it gets. I've never seen anyone set their temperature to 1. I don't know what would happen. You could try it. It's no big deal. But I like to set it at about 0.3 or 0.4. That's what I've been seeing around most other chatbots do. So if you ever see temperature, with your chat GPT, that is what it's doing. It's determining. Oh, Tony, do you have a question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I
What's
noticed
up?
that you put those hashtags, the double hashtags before the product and how to respond. Was there
Mhm.
what reason is that for
Well, for
prompting?
two reasons. One, I think it makes it a little bit easier for you as a human to visualize your instructions. And two, it gives some context to the bot when you break it up into chunks rather than one long prompt with no breaks. Acts as if you're a marketer. Like if you made one long paragraph, it might work. Okay. But it's going to be hard to read if you share this bot with with a customer and they want to edit it or you're working with someone. Um, and I think, and I've seen this example everywhere, and I'm pretty sure that the bot, you're kind of programming the bot. When you do, this is how you program the bot is by talking to it. So when you break it up into little chunks, it's kind of like making the bot a little bit more object oriented. I'll say that's not entirely accurate, but it does allow you to understand how the bot is working. You could even take sections of the chat prompt out and put it in a knowledge base, which when we talked about how you could import different articles and whatnot into your bot, you could remove some of this stuff and put it in a separate article. There's lots of different ways to make your prompt. There's lots of techniques for prompting. I prefer this technique just because it makes it easy for me to understand what I'm doing. And you'll also, if you look at old versions of CloseBot, which you're going to use, you'll see he used to prompt like that. So I just think it's a good technique. You can do it how you want. I think it works. It works well for me. Okay, so I'm going to
Can
save
I
this
add
bot.
something, Josh?
Yes, sir.
Tony, I posted a link on our chat that it's basically a markdown cheat sheet, which will break down exactly what Josh is talking
Thank you.
about.
Thank you. Great. I'll get that up. I'll post that too. So I saved this bot and now we're ready to try it out. So I'm going to go to my chat bot. I'm going to say hi. And this is super fast. I mean, this is instantaneously fast, which is really nice. People are of the mind, well, if it responds too fast, it looks like a computer. But if it takes too long, they're going to leave, right? So I think there's a fine line between speed of response and boring them. Okay. Hi, hello there. How can I assist you today? Looking for some specific. I could say, what do you do? And if you're making your own bot, you can start testing this right away. Hi, I'm Rosie, a skilled marketer. I'm actually utilizing creating effective strategies. Yeah, that's pretty accurate based on it scraping my site. It's not perfect, but it took us 2 minutes, right? Okay, cool. And I'll say, great. Now what? And remember, I told the bot to try to sell me something, and it did. It asked me a few questions. It talked to me. Then it says, great, we have a fantastic collection of hats, shirts, and pants. How much do the hats cost? And this is where conversational AI does what ManyChat cannot do. Period. Because I could have asked this in a million different ways. $15. Find this link, hat collection. Boom. What do you know? So that's a great way to get a chatbot agency going. Very simple. It'll at least help you understand it. If you like it, you can buy the larger version. And I like to give these chatbots away to get people into my agency or into an agency. It's cheap. I mean, it's super cheap to do. And then you can upsell them to more advanced bots, which we'll start making when we do this for real. But I also want to show you one other thing that's very cool about Chatbase that I didn't know it could do. If you go to leads, you can actually have the bot ask for name, email, and phone. So if you want to start your own agency where you don't want to use GoHighLevel, you don't want to learn it yet, but you still want to be able to ask for the few things to be a lead generation agency and a conversational AI chatbot lead gen agency, this simple tool actually allows you to do it. It's nowhere near as robust as CloseBot or ZappyChat. It's not going to conversationally ask you these one at a time. It's not going to store it into a field in your CRM. But what it is going to do is it's going to show up on the dashboard for this particular bot. So if a client's using this bot, you'll be able to show them all their leads with their email, name, and phone. And if you want to integrate it with Zapier, you can. Zapier is a tool that allows you to get information from one place into another. For instance, from this tool into GoHighLevel. A lot of people use Zapier. Okay, so that is a basic chatbot. It works pretty well. You can see how we deal with the model. In this case, is ChatGPT is our model. How you write a prompt, which is different from knowledge base, where you are just uploading sources and having it scrape. Okay, it's different. And how you embed it on a site, either in an iframe, like you saw in this demo, or as a chatbot widget. Okay. And that's it. You don't need to know anything else in order to have a chatbot going. And again, it's really limited, but you can update it. It's very simple. You can, it tells you what your usage is. So I get 20 messages, so I could keep testing it throughout the day. And you can get much more advanced with this. We're going to talk about some more advanced tools like a pointwise.io is a very cool AI chatbot that works to GoHighLevel. They leverage Chatbase to do it. So that's how I found out about Chatbase. Are there any questions or comments about this? No? Awesome. Okay, so let's go back. So that was our 15-minute chatbot challenge. I think we did it. So it's a free chatbot tool, just requires an email address, super simple to use. You don't need a CRM, but you can still get leads. It's only got the one channel for now, which is a chat bubble or an inline iframe of the entire chat window. So it's limited. It doesn't do conversational booking, but it's great. It's you can give these chatbots away for free. Okay. All right. So are there any? There's no more questions. No questions, comments on that. We're going to move on. Okay. So that was the 15-minute chatbot agency. Yes, Tony.
Hey, so you mentioned a couple times giving them away for free.
Yeah.
What is that process? Because I love the way that you make offers and then like real people
Sure.
and a little deeper,
Easy. No problem here. So if I want to give this chatbot away, I would literally, I'm not going to tell you how to do the marketing to give the chatbot away, but let's say you had a customer that wanted to try Chatbot. Like, okay, give me 15, 20 minutes. I'll make you a chatbot. You do this work here. You train it on their site. You'd ask if they have any articles or whatnot, or you find it on your own. You train your bot, and then you just embed it. You just literally can send them, okay, here's your free bot. You just send them this snippet of code. If they need help putting it on their website, that's a different ask, but that's it. That's how you give someone a free chatbot. If they need help putting it on their site, that's an upsell for you, possibly. That answer your question?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It's just, honestly, it's a great offer. It's a great lead magnet. I mean, it's, it may not be totally free because it does cost a little bit to get a bunch of chatbots on this service, but it's a great lead magnet. You can do it for 30 days, turn them off. There's lots of ways to push them to upsell to a more advanced chatbot. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now that we have talked about, what is a chatbot? What's an AI chatbot? What's an agency? What's a conversational agency? Or conversational AI agency? We built our chatbot, our very first chatbot. Again, if you join late, this link to this workflowy document, which is free, is in the chat. Okay, I'm also going to post it in the group, and every day I'll post these so you can follow along, reference it later. And so with that, I want to talk about the different tools we're going to be using throughout the course, starting tomorrow and today. So Workflowy, this is the application that I'm using to make these amazing notes. I use it constantly. We're going to be using Google Docs. Okay, you all hopefully know what Google Docs are. I'm going to skip Merlin because I'm going to show you that in a second. We're going to use Canva for graphics. I know this isn't a course on creating graphics or anything, but it is a course on making your own agency. So I'm going to show you, if you don't already know how to use a Canva, which is a free tool to replace Photoshop. It's incredible to quickly make graphics for you and your client. I like to make demo Facebook pages for my clients to test their bot. I'll use Canva to make the profile picture and the cover photo. It's a great to be able to know how to do this. And it also has prompting in it to make AI graphics, which is amazingly cool. Okay. I'm going to show you Merlin in a bit, but Merlin is a plugin, a Chrome plugin that we're going to use that allows us to talk to our page or our document in a browser using ChatGPT. It's a way to use ChatGPT for free, Merlin.ai. So we're going to use that throughout the course. If you don't want to buy anything or whatnot, you can use Merlin. It's amazing. We're going to use ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not free. Most people don't know that, but ChatGPT is not free, okay? ChatGPT charges you if you use the ChatGPT app on your phone. That's not the same tool that we need to use. We need to use the ChatGPT from a company called OpenAI. Okay, and when we get into this in the next couple of days, or maybe next week, I'll show you exactly how to do this. But if you want to do an advanced chatbot, you need to pay per use, per message, and it has a whole complex way that it does pricing, and we'll talk about that. But just be aware that we are going to use ChatGPT eventually, but not now because it does cost money. But you will need it if you want to have an actual chatbot, a high-level chatbot, CloseBot, Zappy Chat. Those all require API keys using OpenAI, and we'll get into that. We're also going to be using GoHighLevel. I know pretty much everyone here uses GoHighLevel. That is a paid program with a 2-week free trial if you get it through my affiliate, or just go and do it to your own. It's what we're going to be using for our CRM. Okay. We're also going to be using CloseBot. Okay. CloseBot.ai is going to be our chatbot tool that we're going to be using throughout the course. I think a lot of you may have found this class through the CloseBot group. So this is, and when I talk about the different chatbots, the higher level chatbots, I'll explain why I picked CloseBot after coming from a couple other services I was using, because people ask, hey, did you switch from this? Did you switch from that? And the answer is yes. I'll talk a little bit about why. And those are pretty much the only paid tools that you'll need towards the end of this course. I'm going to try to get you guys by with as much free trials as you can. But there will be some paid tools that we're going to need. Okay. All right. So tonight, for your homework, I want you to set up your Chatbase chatbot and play with it. Okay. If you need to remember how we did prompting, you could watch this video. Okay. So I recorded everything. You'll see how we did the prompting. And again, you only get about 20 messages, and you can upgrade it if you want. Okay. So that's going to be your homework for tonight, is to play with Chatbase. Okay. Tomorrow, we're going to start crafting our agency. This week after today will be about crafting our agency. That means I'm going to show you some examples, some agency examples. I showed you a couple in the beginning. I'm going to show you examples of some offers for an AI chatbot agency. And then we're going to talk about niche examples: solar, real estate, buying generators, selling mortgages. There's all sorts of different examples. And I'll show you working examples of that you'll be able to use yourself and play with. And then we're going to select your niche. Okay. So this week is going to be about, today we made your chatbot. I showed you how chatbots work. We talked about AI chatbots versus regular chatbots, etc. But tomorrow we're going to craft your agency. So if you already have an agency and you already have a niche and you already know who you're serving, the rest of this week may be a little bit repetitive for you. Okay. But if you'd like to attend, that'd be fantastic, because I do want to go over different techniques. I value your guys' input as to how you set up your agency, how you pick your niche, because that's the crucial first step. We're not going to actually, after today, we're not going to be messing around with chatbots for at least a week and a half or 2 weeks. We're going to set up our agency, pick our niche, come up with an offer, and then next week we're going to set up GoHighLevel with your agency, and then we're going to start setting up CloseBot to use with your agency. Okay? Are there any questions about today? Anything you guys want me to go over again, or anything you guys want to make sure that I touch on tomorrow?
This was great, Josh.
Awesome. Yeah, I know I scheduled for an hour, but I don't want to waste your guys' time at all. And, like I said, I wanted to make sure that you guys get something out of the first day, which is technically today. So you got your own chatbot. You can play around with it. If you want to pay a little bit more, you can play with it all day long and, start actually trying to use it. All right, cool. So if there's no questions, and there are if there's no questions and you guys don't need help with this simple 15-minute chatbot challenge,